Scaffolds, or temporary work platforms, can provide a safe and more efficient way to work in construction. But the use of scaffolds is also one of the leading causes of injuries on construction sites. Unsafe scaffolding causes an estimated 3,000 injuries and 79 work-related deaths a year. And workers being exposed to hazards on scaffolds is one of the most common OSHA violations. It's important to recognize scaffolding hazards and make sure every scaffold is set up and used properly. Although there are many different types of scaffolding, there are several common hazards associated with all types of scaffolds. Number 1, falls due to lack of fall protection. 2, unsafe access due to ladders, stairs, and ramps. 3, injuries from falling tools, work materials, or debris. 4, electrocution due to the proximity to overhead power lines. And 5, collapse caused by instability or overloading. There are requirements specific to scaffold erectors and to scaffold users. Erectors have to use a combination of fall protection methods, which include body harness, lanyards, and vertical and horizontal lifelines. Users must be protected against falls by guardrails, full decks, and safe access, and knowing when they would need other forms of fall protection. Any scaffold 10 feet high or higher and more than 14 inches away from a building must have a complete guardrail system with toe boards covering all exposed sides and ends. The top rail must be 42 inches high, the mid-rail 21 inches high, and the toe board must be at least 3.5 inches high, or as high as the material on the scaffold, to prevent objects from falling off. If guardrails can't be used, workers must use a personal fall arrest system when the scaffold height is over 10 feet. Falls from scaffolds generally occur when personnel are climbing or descending the scaffold. In many cases, injuries occur when climbing the braces or scaffold frame that was not designed to climb. Safe access to the scaffold work area is required when the elevation change is more than 2 feet. Equipment that can be used for safe access could include secured ladders, clamp-on ladders, and built-in ladders. You can directly access scaffolding from another scaffold or structure, provided it is not more than 14 inches horizontally and 24 inches vertically from the other surface. Cross braces cannot be used to climb on or off the scaffold. Being struck by falling objects is a common occurrence that can be reduced or eliminated by using toe boards, netting, or by barricading the area. It's important to note that hard hats must be worn at all times when working on and near scaffolding. Overhead power lines can be extremely dangerous, even deadly. Scaffolding should be built at least 10 feet away from an exposed power source, unless it has been insulated or de-energized. All electrical tools and power cords must be in good condition and protected by a ground fault circuit interrupter device, or GFCI. Do not work on scaffolds during electrical storms or high winds. Scaffolding collapse can be caused by several factors, including poor foundation or footing, improper construction, overloading, and being struck by machinery. Always know the foundation the scaffold will be built on. Never build scaffolding on stacked bricks, block, or other unstable objects. All scaffolds require steel base plates, adjustable bases, or casters. Mud sills can be used under the base plate to spread the load when scaffolds are built on soil or asphalt. If using mud sills, ensure the base plate is nailed to the mud sill to prevent displacement. It's important to know what the load capacity is of the scaffold to avoid collapse. A scaffold must be able to support its own weight and at least 4 times the intended load, which includes workers, tools, equipment, and materials. Bracing is extremely important. Scaffolds should never be used unless all required bracing and securement is in place. Scaffold platforms must be fully decked and at least 18 inches wide. Only scaffold-grade planks should be used. Planking can be wood, metal, or a combination, and must be secured to prevent movement. Workers who are involved in using, erecting, or disassembling scaffolds must be provided training by a competent trainer who can identify scaffold hazards and has the authority to correct or eliminate them. This person should also be responsible for overseeing the setup, dismantling, or any modification of any scaffold, and is required to inspect scaffolds and scaffold components for visible defects before each work shift. By following these safety guidelines, Scaffolds can provide you with an efficient work site while maintaining the well-being and protection of you and your crew.